Your baby just figured something out this week that will change how they see the world for the rest of their life. They learned that what they do matters, that they can make things happen. And the first place they are going to test that? On you. Welcome back to Tiny Steps Weekly. In our baby development video this week, we talked about contingency learning. Your baby's dawning understanding that their actions produce specific outcomes. This week in the Parent Guide, we are going to talk about what that means for you and how to respond to it in a way that supports your baby's development and deepens your connection. We are also going to talk about sleep, about the specific bonding opportunities that Week 7 opens up, and about how to avoid the most common mistakes parents make at this stage. Let's get into it. Your primary focus in Week 7 is responsiveness to your baby's initiations, and this is subtly different from what we have been talking about in previous weeks. In the early weeks, most of the interaction was initiated by you. You spoke, your baby responded. You smiled, your baby eventually smiled back. You were the one driving the social exchange. This week, your baby is beginning to initiate, making sounds, expressions, and movements that are clearly designed to get your attention and draw you into interaction. When your baby initiates, respond immediately and warmly. Drop what you are doing if you can. Get close, make eye contact, and engage. This response to your baby's social initiations is one of the most important things you can do for their development right now. Why? Because your response is teaching your baby that their bids for connection work, that reaching out produces a result, that they have agency in the relationship. This is the foundation of communication, the belief that your attempts to connect with another person will be received and responded to. Every time you respond to your baby's initiation, you are reinforcing that belief at a neurological level. Given what we know about contingency learning this week, the most powerful activities you can offer your baby are ones where their actions produce clear, immediate, interesting responses. The simplest and most effective of these is animated face-to-face play. Get close to your baby, make eye contact, and respond expressively and immediately to everything they do. When they vocalize, respond with a sound. When they change their expression, mirror it back. When they look away, wait for them to look back and greet their returning gaze with warmth. You are creating a live, responsive environment where your baby's every action produces a meaningful reaction. This is exactly what their developing brain needs. You can also begin introducing simple cause and effect toys this week. A rattle that makes a sound when moved, a high-contrast mobile that responds to touch. Place these within your baby's visual range and, if they are beginning to swipe at objects, within arm's reach. When your baby's movement causes the rattle to sound or the mobile to move, watch their face. The brightening, the stilling, the repeat attempt. This is contingency learning in real time, and it is wonderful to witness. Tummy time remains essential this week, and at 7 weeks, you can begin to make it more interactive and engaging. Get down at your baby's level during tummy time. Hold a small mirror in front of their face. Place a high-contrast card within their line of sight. Talk to them. Encourage them. Celebrate the moments when they lift their head. Your engagement makes tummy time more motivating and more enjoyable for your baby. More sleep at 7 weeks is beginning, very gradually, to show the first hints of organization. Many babies at this age are producing one slightly longer stretch of sleep per night, often 3 to 4 hours, usually in the early part of the night. This is the circadian rhythm beginning to assert itself, and it is a genuinely encouraging sign. However, I want to be careful not to overpromise. The longer stretch is not yet consistent. It will vary night to night, and it may disappear entirely during developmental leaps or growth spurts before returning. The direction of travel is toward more consolidated sleep, but at 7 weeks, that destination is still weeks away for most families. What you can do this week is continue reinforcing the foundations. Your pre-sleep routine, the consistent sequence of bath, massage, feed, song, sleep space, is accumulating its effect with every repetition. Your sleep environment, dark, quiet, white noise, swaddling if appropriate, is becoming more reliably associated with sleep in your baby's brain. These are not producing dramatic changes yet, but they are working. One practical consideration for week 7. If your baby is showing signs of fighting sleep, becoming increasingly fussy and difficult to settle despite showing sleepy cues, check whether you are missing the awake window. At 7 weeks, the comfortable awake window is typically 60 to 90 minutes. If your baby has been awake for longer than this, they are likely overtired, and settling will be harder. Watch the cues, not the clock, and begin settling at the first sign of tiredness, rather than waiting until your baby is clearly exhausted. Week 7 opens up a wonderful new bonding activity that your baby's developing contingency awareness makes possible: physical play. Gentle bouncing, lifting, lowering, physical movement that your baby can begin to anticipate produces a response in 7-week-old babies that is qualitatively new. When you bounce your baby gently and they begin to show anticipatory excitement, tensing their body, widening their eyes, producing a sound, before the bounce happens, you are seeing contingency learning and social anticipation working together. They are predicting what is coming, and they are excited about it. Respond to that excitement, build the game, pause, let them wait, then continue. This simple structure, anticipation, pause, payoff, is the template for almost all infant social games and is one of the most enjoyable interactions available to you and your baby right now. Talking and singing remain deeply valuable this week. In week 7, try introducing more varied vocal play, different pitches, different rhythms, different tempos. Make sounds that are deliberately funny or surprising, and watch your baby's face for the response. The early laughter precursors we discussed in the development video, that sharp intake of breath, that brightening of the eyes, are most likely to emerge during these moments of vocal play. You are the most interesting thing in your baby's world. Use that. The most common mistake I see in week 7 is parents underestimating their baby's social appetite and defaulting to solo play too early. A 7-week-old baby does not benefit from being placed under a play gym alone for 20 minutes while the parent attends to other tasks. They may tolerate it briefly, but their most enriched developmental experience at this age is social, face-to-face, voice-to-voice, with a responsive person who is paying attention and reacting. If you want to support your baby's development this week, be present during their alert windows. The play gym has its place, but it is a support act. You are the main event. Another mistake to avoid is interpreting your baby's social initiations, their sounds, their expressions, their gaze-seeking, as demanding or manipulative. I hear this framing occasionally from parents who have been told that responding to every bid for attention will spoil their baby. This is not correct, and at 7 weeks it is genuinely harmful advice. Your baby is not manipulating you, they are communicating with you. And the consistent, warm response you provide to that communication is one of the most developmentally significant things you can do for them right now. Finally, avoid the temptation to compare your baby's sleep to other babies at this stage. Sleep development at 7 weeks varies enormously between babies, and the parents who report that their baby is sleeping through the night at this age are either very lucky, not being fully accurate, or using methods that are not appropriate for this developmental stage. Your baby's sleep is on its own timeline. Focus on the foundations. The consolidation will come. Something I notice consistently at 7-week visits is how much parents have learned to read their specific baby, often without realizing it. I watch a parent settle their baby during the visit, and what I see is a sophisticated, unconscious sequence of observation and response. They notice a subtle change in their baby's expression, adjust their hold, shift their approach, and the baby settles. It happens in seconds, without apparent thought. That is expertise. That is weeks of attentive, responsive caregiving, translated into intuitive skill. When I point this out to parents, when I name what I just saw them do, many of them are genuinely surprised. I don't know how I knew, they say, but they do know. They have been learning their baby intensively for 7 weeks, and that learning has become embodied. Trust it, it is real. A question I hear at 7 weeks is, my baby's smile seems to come and go. Some days they smile a lot, other days barely at all. Is something wrong? Nothing is wrong. Social smiling at 7 weeks is still emerging and consolidating, and its frequency and reliability vary day to day based on a range of factors. How well your baby slept, whether they are in the middle of a developmental leap, how alert and content they are at any given moment, and whether the conditions for social interaction, close proximity, familiar face, calm environment, are in place. A baby who smiled freely yesterday and is quieter today is not regressing. They are having a different day. The trajectory that matters is across weeks, not across days. If you look at your baby's social engagement over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and it is clearly increasing overall, more smiles, more vocalizations, more sustained eye contact, your baby's development is on track. Individual days will always vary. 7 weeks. You are past the hardest part, and the relationship ahead of you is only going to become richer, more expressive, and more rewarding. The smile is established. The voice is finding itself. The person your baby is becoming is more visible every day. You have spent 7 weeks learning the most important person in your baby's world, and that person is you. Not because you are perfect, not because you have done everything right, but because you have been there, consistently, warmly, responsively. That is what your baby's brain needed, and that is what you gave them. Keep going. The best is still ahead. Me Scorbry. Week 7 is a week of deepening, deeper connection, deeper communication, deeper confidence on both sides of this relationship. The journey from here only gets richer. Subscribe to Tiny Steps Weekly. Every week, 2 videos. Clear, calm, science-based guidance from birth to age 5. We are honored to walk this path with you because every tiny step matters.